Hey there, boys and girls. Today I'm going to be doing the Scorn of the Sworn 8 of Paladia. What a mouthful. We need to use no items, evoke an Esper, defeat the last two bosses on Battle 4 within 10 turns. Alrighty, you're making this harder on me, Gumi. I'm going to be using all of my own units this time, so I'm just going to take Dr. Aiden as my friend unit. Kamari is here for his Mirage. He's got that 2-stack Mirage. Other than that, just a dead slot. Cecil's going to be our magic tank for this one. Just paying a lot of attention to your resistances on your magic tank. Holy, Dark, Ice, and Lightning are really important. Don't worry so much about your effective hit points with your hit points and Spirit. It's not as important as the resistances. Rena's going to be our healer for this one. I like Rena because she's got the Holy Imbue / Imperil. It's really nice. Fenward is going to be one of our 2 damage units for this. I geared her up like really strong for this fight. You know, there's a lot of damage units that does a lot more damage than she does that we have access to now. I feel like this is probably going to be the last time I'm going to be able to use her and Edward Elric on a current trial, so let's go out with a bang. Edward Elric, same thing. Lots of attack and human killers and all that good stuff. And then Dr. Aiden is going to be our passive provoke, full evade tank. I like Dr. Aiden because he's got triple white magic. You'll kind of see how we go about dealing with some of the mechanics with him on into the fight. And also, if you don't have Rena, he could be an imbue source for you, which is nice to always have kind of like a backup. There is no tips panel for this one because, I mean, my god, I'm fighting 8 bosses. I don't even know what all these bosses do. I just know how to survive against the attacks. Alrighty, so the priority that I want to show you guys is basically Mirage every turn with Kamari, and just do some magic tanking with Cecil. I mean, he's a magic tank, right? We're not reinventing the wheel here. We'll use Rena's cooldowns to get some mitigations up, and then we'll get cooldown and a chain with our 2 chainers. You could definitely use like double Edward Elric for this. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted to kind of use my own units and not rely on a friend unit for this one. And then Dr. Aiden will give us status immunity. Now, you don't need Mirage for this first fight. This first fight has some non-elemental magic that you have to deal with. Right there it is. You'll see it does a fair amount of damage. It's not that hard to survive against, but mind you, I did have, you know, general mitigation and all that stuff up. Alright, we use Limit Burst with Cecil. We'll get Rena. This is one of my favorite things about her. She's got this MP regeneration, and she can do our Imperil / Imbue on the same turn. It's really, really nice. And our chainers did use a lot of mana on this fight, so oh my god, I clicked off the button. I clicked off the screen. It is nice to have that, you know, regeneration available to help us out. And then Aiden will heal us up and give us some MP back. You can see that I'm making like a lot of like concentrated effort to make sure that I keep my MP pretty high on this fight, because we got to go the distance, and like we're using almost 200 MP per turn with our chainers. It's quite a bit. Alrighty, let's go ahead and summon our Esper for missions, and then Aiden will just do a double MP. Well, actually, go away. Let me refresh my chainers. That's less buttons I have to click. Alright, send these guys off. Get some MP regen with Aiden. Nice and easy. Alrighty, battle 2. This one's, I wouldn't say it's hard, but there is some things you got to pay attention to. We're going to do the same old setup turn 1. Just going to get our covers in place, get our mitigations in place, get our immunities, get our chainers ready to go. Turn 2 is where you kind of have to pay a little bit more care about what you're doing. Make sure you target Veritas of the Earth first for all of your actions. I'll explain why in just a second. Get our status immunities. Now, what you're going to see, they're going to do some stuff, and then they're going to buff. Veritas of the Frost is going to get damage, protection, or immunity, and then Veritas of the Earth is going to do a cover. So we have to dispel both of those in order to do damage to them. The way I like to go about doing that is with Dr. Aiden, I do triple white, and I use Dispel. Then I use a Curaja. Where is this at? And then I use another Dispel. The reason I put the Curaja in between the 2 Dispels is just to make it easier to land. So you use one, then you click on the second enemy, and you get both Dispels off. Nice and easy. And then Rena will do a Regen and our Imbue / Imperil. Cecil will use his Limit Burst. Kamari will use Mirage, and we'll triple cast our damage. Alright. Alright, send these guys off. Another thing is, sometimes with Veritas of the Earth, he'll survive. It depends on the variance of my attacks. Sometimes he'll survive with like 1% or 4% hit points. If that happens to you, well, you should be using like stronger damage units than I am. But if that happens on turn 4, he's going to do some earth attacks, and he's going to buff his defense and spirit. Just remove the defense and spirit buff, and then, you know, keep attacking him. Reload our chainers, and we'll get some MP recovery ready. Cecil can also do MP recovery for you. Don't forget that. Let's see what kind of damage we get. Yep, we got him. That doesn't always happen, like I said, on turn 4. Defense and spirit buff, dispel it, kill him off. No worries. Alrighty. Do our Mirage, get our cover. Arena will do cooldown. And same thing here. I know it's really redundant what I'm doing, but I felt like this was the easiest way to show people how to do this fight. You know, just kind of make sure that you've got these things going on every single turn, and you're good to go. Let's get our immunities. Alright, limit burst with Cecil. Actually, just we've got to. They buff up. He's got an attack buff. She's got like all these resistances. Oh my gosh, we'll get Dr. Aiden to fix all that. Sometimes I even get ahead of myself. So we'll dispel. Use Curaja and another dispel. Same thing like we did on the other boss. Bada bing, bada boom. Profit. Alrighty. We'll use our light imbue / imperil and MP region, and we'll get our chainers ready. Alright. Send everybody off. Beautiful. They're going to buff up again, but I'm not really concerned about it now. Should be able to take them out, no worries. We'll get Dr. Aiden to get some MP region or recovery. Somebody's in the comments right now saying, "Oh, you said region, it's recovery." Oh, it's so close. No worries. Let's get Cecil, get some MP back. It's just variance that gets us on that. And then Rena, I mean, she can just do this, I guess. Nothing major going on in her life. Alright. Let's just chain. You dead now. Alrighty, last fight is a holy and dark fight, so Rena and Dr. Aiden can't carry us here. This is why I opted for Fenward Adele and Edward Elric. I feel like they go really, really well together. They're just two amazing units. It's going to be really sad when I can't use them anymore. Not playing. We'll get them ready to do some damage. Go on the Veritas of the Earth first. Or the Veritas of the Dark first. Cecil will do his... Oh my gosh. He'll do his Into the Dark and cover. And then Arena will do her buffs. This is too many fights in a row for me to click on without clicking on things the wrong way or saying something the wrong way. One thing I'd like to tell you guys, make sure, depending on your setup, that you've got your taps in the right order. Make sure that you're tapping Adele first and then Edward Elric, because these bosses are going to remove their imperils every single turn, and they're going to buff themselves almost every single turn, and we're going to have to dispel them every single turn. So as long as you're queuing Adele's attacks first, you're going to have the imperil on the enemy, then the chains are going to start happening. Let's get our triple white magic. Spell. Curaja. Spell. Alright. let's go. This is the Imbue / Imperil, and this is our chaining move, and then Edward Elric will do his Imbue, and then his 2 chaining moves. Let's start on Veritas of the Dark. Alright, Cecil uses Limit Burst, and Kamari will Mirage, and then we'll just get some Regen going on. Now, every single turn, Adele is going to be reapplying her Imbue, Imperil, and then she's going to be chaining with Edward Elric. So just kind of keep that in mind. And like I said, see, he's got damage reduction. She's got some freaking hit point regen. It's so annoying. So like I said, we're going to Dispel. Clean all that stuff off. Edward Elric will use Hammer of the Gods. Now, remember, this is a single target ability. And then Auto Blade is an AoE ability. I like to kind of keep these guys pretty close in hit points. We'll go on Veritas of the Light this time. Perfect. Alright, Kamari will Mirage. Really nothing for Cecil to do here. So let's do Into the Light. And we'll just Regen again with Reno. Big boy damage. Alrighty. Dispel. Click. Dispel. Edward Elric will use Auto Blade ×3. Make sure you got your Esper summoned. We're on turn 4 right here. We should get a kill. Yep. And dead. GG's. It's a pretty fun fight. You know, I really like the way the Veritas looked in this fight. It's really, really cool. Like I said, you could use Aiden as your Imbue source if you don't have Rena. I do think they play really well with each other. Aiden as a provoke tank is always money. Like I said, hopefully we can put Kamari up after this. I'm getting tired of using like the double Mirage stuff. I know somebody's out here like, well, don't use Kamari then, YouTube man. Well, it's just the best way to do it. Anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Happy 4th of July if you're watching the video as of this recording. Have a great rest of the weekend. Toodaloo.